Hey friends, it's Sheila from Sweetie's Creations and Decor. Several of my viewers asked to show how to make these little ribbon roses. You can use ribbon, you can use scrap material, whatever you have to make these. So the first one I'm going to show you is just a different type of material. I want to say this is more like a drop cloth type material here, but I believe this may have come from a flour sack towel. It's the same type of material. Now I just go ahead and tie a knot. I'm going to cut the edge off just a little bit. You're going to be putting that knot in your middle. That's what the middle is going to be. So you're going to take it in your fingers, and that's going to be your middle. Now you want to take your ribbon and you want to wrap it around your finger. And just keep wrapping. And then you're going to add your glue as you go. I am using some of the Fabric Fusion from Aleene's today. It works pretty well, but you also can use some hot glue. I do have the hot glue tool. I don't like hot glue as well because it kind of sticks to your fingers, but sometimes you need a little bit of hot glue to get it to stay. Now, this glue will dry and it'll stay, but if you have a couple of spots on the back that don't look like they glued well, you can go back in and add some glue to the back. Just keep twisting it. Now, I was taught this on a piece of paper or cardstock. You will see that later on. I like to do mine in my fingers. It's easier for me. And just keep twisting, twisting, twisting is all you're doing. And then put a little glue. You don't have to have glue at every twist, but just a little bit here and there. And sorry it gets out of camera for just a minute. I apologize for that. Just was trying to get it a little tighter. You're just going to keep adding your glue as you go. I'm going to add just a little bit of hot glue right there. And then just keep twisting in your fingers. That's the important part, is just keep twisting, twisting. Make it as large or small as you want to. Just keep twisting it till you get the size that you like and adding your glue. You can add any kind of fabric glue. You could just use hot glue. The hot glue sometimes will make it very sticky, and when you're trying to use your hands, it can make a mess. So I would rather use a fabric glue. That is my favorite. So I'm just cutting it at a little angle, and then you can put that kind of right up under it where it doesn't show much. Glue it down really well. And you can put a little bit on the back of it if it didn't seal in places. Sometimes that happens with certain materials, and sometimes the cotton doesn't have a problem at all. Now this is a little bit bigger piece, and I'll show you how to make one with a bigger piece. Now do remember it's a little bit more in your hand working with it, and sometimes it doesn't glue as well depending on the material. So you may have to glue it a little bit on the back. You can also put a little piece on the back. So you can take a little piece of cardstock paper or some other kind of thick paper and put it on the back of these if you'd like to do that. It won't hurt it a bit because you're going to be gluing them down on something. You won't even be able to see it. So this one is a little bit harder to work with, but it's still workable. You just may have to use a little bit more glue, and you may have to glue it on the back just a little bit. Now you may want to use hot glue if you have a thicker material. Just be careful. Use you a finger protector, or use the low glue, low heat glue. And then just keep twisting, twisting. This was a piece of fabric. But the bigger that your piece is, a little bit harder when you're having to work with a little bit thicker, a little bit of the bigger piece of material. Just keep that in mind as you're working with it. When you're starting out, I would say to get some little small pieces and try with those before you try a big one. You're just adding your glue. This one was a little bit harder to work with. We're going to trim that one off and put it to the back. And I did notice that we had to go back on that one and put a little bit more glue on the back. Now, if you're wanting two colors and you want to add some to this, you can make it with two colors. So we could take that red and we could put it to the end of this and just keep going. So you can make them just as big as you want to. Sorry, y'all, I had to get off the screen just a little bit right there to get that to straighten out. But you can still see what I'm doing. And then I did take a little hot glue and put around the back to get that to stay where it was trying to come out. As you see, it does stick to your fingers sometimes. So the low heat hot glue is the best. I'll put a little bit more, see if I can get that to stay. Okay, that worked. It's sticking to my fingers because it does have a lot of glue. Now we're going to use a little piece of the sari silk, S-A-R-I silk. You can find that on Amazon and some other places, and I believe I've got the link for some of that on my Amazon store. Now, if you wanted to add to this one, you can just add it on right there and then make it two different colors. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Now this one I'm going to go ahead and start again. Trying to get my knot tight there. Okay. And you could do it on a piece of paper if you wanted to. I wanted to grab a piece of paper to show you that you can glue it on there. Then you would just trim your paper on the back and that would give you a good backing. I just prefer to do them in my hand. So we're going to start this one. Do the same thing. Now this one's pretty easy. This sari silk seems to glue real well, or cotton does, and it works better. So you're just going to keep it twisted on your fingers, add your glue, same thing we've been doing. These don't take a lot of time, they just take a little bit of patience. And you can make some really cute ribbons for your creations. I'm making this one just a little bit smaller, and I am so sorry. I didn't realize that I got off the camera. Sometimes it's hard to tell when you're doing overhead, but you didn't miss anything because I am just doing the same thing that I was doing on the other two. We're going to cut this one off, make it a little bit smaller. Put our glue to the back and kind of twist it at the end where you can just glue it down and you kind of push it around to the back where it doesn't show. Just making sure it is glued down well. And now you've got that one. So here is, you can also put that on top if you want to make it a 2-for-1. You can do the same thing to the white. So let's see, we have 3 of these. They're different sizes. How easy peasy was that? And I hope that you enjoyed that quick little tutorial. Let me know if you have questions.